Oh, we're gonna use this. This is it.
You gotta restart it though. You're gonna say
no,
it again. I cut it.
Why?
I started in the middle.
Why did you stop it? Start it right now. Record now.
We're recording.
Okay.
Hey guys, welcome to Cups of Crazy. I'm Rachel.
And Emily. Welcome to our Saturday night fun, good times. It's been a week.
It's been a fucking week. I am so over it. She just said right before we got on, she's like, we don't have to do this, but we do because it's World Mental Health Day today. And I was fine. And then I was put in like a in between like a rock and a hard place, and it just made me upset the rest of the day, and I just couldn't catch back my rhythm of how I felt before.
Yeah.
And it was just like, I am so sick of crying. Like, how much fluid is in here? God. But like I said, it's important because today is this day, and it's like, sometimes people are not okay, and that's okay. But
Absolutely.
you got to try to keep plugging along. I've been trying to do a fucking video for like, a month, and I still haven't been able to get it done because I get in my own head. So, but basically today is just about raising awareness, kind of like Suicide Prevention Month, just raising awareness. And I read something earlier that was like, basically, mental health awareness is raising awareness so people with mental health can live with dignity. I thought that was good.
I do like that.
Me too.
The stigma out of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So how's your mental state been this week?
So as far as like, I guess you could say home life or whatever, it's been okay. It's more so the work-life balance and working from home and not being able to socialize. Like in person after being in quarantine for so long has been interesting. And I thought once I started work again, I would feel, more of myself, more back to normal. But I think I underestimated that, even during a crazy time like this, all of 2020 has sucked. But
what the fuck?
Right. I assumed people would be more humble and more kind.
People are going insane.
Right. And one thing that hasn't changed is they're still not nice. They're like toddlers taking tantrums if they don't get something they want. So that's been really stressful this week because, there's a lot of stuff going on at work, and it's just like one toddler after another.
I'll grab it later. Well, I also read, I'm sorry, I just don't want to forget, that 80% of people with mental health problems reported way more severe symptoms and, since COVID, because COVID has been crazy, isolation. People are reaching like points of, fragility that they've never thought they'd experience. And, people are like, dropping like flies, man. Like, they're killing themselves. Like, this isn't a joke, and this isn't something that's like, oh, well, once the pandemic's over, it's going to be done. It doesn't work like that.
No.
It's going to be months and years because people are going to experience, probably. And remember we talked about the 5 categories of PTSD. So people are going to be in, one of them, even if it's, they'll be better in a couple months. Some people it's going to take years because, losing your house, losing your businesses, it's crazy. And,
Yeah, it's a lot of trauma wrapped into it, and people don't even realize how much it's going to trickle down and just keep trickling for years. It's crazy. It's wild. And I guess, I like to think, I don't know why I thought like this, considering everything that's going on in the world, as far as like the stupidity and, the fact that we need laws to force people to make a mask, wear a mask, whatever.
I hate running back to my car.
Dude, I do it all the time. and it's weird because now I know something's not right, and I'll stop
Mm.
and I'm like, wallet, car keys, no mask. Okay. And I go back in.
Weed, keys, wallet, phone. But now you gotta add mask.
Yeah.
Well,
Good stuff.
yeah, what are you gonna do? And then not only that, like, because originally today we were gonna talk about relationships. We were gonna start like a episode playlist or whatever series on that. But domestic abuse, and at least for you hear my cat.
I can see him attacking the chair.
Oh, okay, yeah, you can see him. Yeah, Cucumber. What's
Oh. He's so cute.
okay. So we were gonna, and I know this is like for a fact. My my old boss, her husband, works. He's a detective. He was promoted to detective recently, and the rates of child abuse and sexually, physically, domestic abuse, homicides, suicides, murder, suicides, like the numbers are just going up and up and up and up, and it's just like, to be serious with this guy right here.
He's like, oh, excuse me.
Yo, you're gonna pull out my headphones. So, it's important that people are aware, because people who may have not had, as serious issues are now starting to face like real issues, or maybe people who never had a domestic abuse issue, they're now facing that. And kids who are homeschooled and getting abused, and it's just, people have to be aware and look out for signs, and that's what the awareness is all about, is educating yourself on, behaviors and, knowing what to look for in people who aren't doing well.
Yeah. See, the weird thing, I think, I was trying to think about this the other day. Like, I feel like it would have been a lot different for me if I wasn't furloughed.
Yeah.
Meaning, like, if I had continued working, I don't think it would have been as difficult for me being stuck in the house, homeschooling and that type of stuff. And then even in the summertime, we didn't really do that much. But if I was working, I would have kind of, I don't know if I would have felt happier. But it would have been.
What's that?
Yeah, right. But it's that stable, structured routine. So quarantine has been weird for me in that sense, because I naturally like to be home.
Me too.
And I remember actually when everything first started closing down, and I lived down the street from the beach, basically. There's like a park there and stuff.
Yeah.
So I had just started going for daily rides down to the beach, where I would sit over there just in my car, like just to get out of the house, whatever. And then they closed it. And I was like, are you kidding?
What the fuck?
Yeah, because I had just got my car. Everything shut down. So I just wanted to like drive or whatever. And last time I got, I got lost somewhere in Scituate. I didn't know I went there. And so it like sucked. And right from the beginning of everything, it was like, oh, you're furloughed. And then it was like, everything shut down. You have to stay home. You're not working. Kids are doing school, which was a whole new thing. So for me, it was a bit different, because naturally I think I would have been okay. But I think with the furlough and so much uncertainty, which a lot of people are dealing with still, you know what I mean? I'm lucky enough to go back to kind of be yelled at every day.
Right. That's always good for your mental.
Yeah. But, it's scary. And there are people, that, for example, I have someone that I know that basically she's bringing home from unemployment like $120 a week, and that's it. So when they stopped at 600, like that screwed a lot of people, you know what I mean?
Who are you telling? I know.
Yeah. Well, same for me. It was like a huge, jump. So I think about someone like that who's a super hard worker, did everything she was supposed to do, and then this happened. And, unfortunately she was one that they let go. So now, she's like, all right, single mom, bringing home like $120 every week. And, rent in general is like anywhere from $700 to $1,000 here.
Yeah,
So
where's that coming from?
so it's been really rough for a lot of people, and it sucks.
It is. The
Yeah.
financial aspect was hard. This is
Mhm.
like the hardest I've ever had to deal with, like not feeling financially like, I mean, I've never been stable with my money, but like I never felt like I was gonna run out or I didn't have enough or you
Right.
know what I mean? Like this is insane. Like, yeah, it's definitely taking a toll. I don't like it. But, you know, I got laid off. So they offered me my job back at a very low rate.
Yeah.
And not even my job, a different job. And it's just like, you know, do you take it because it's technically more than unemployment? But if that 600 kicks in, I'd rather be here working and, you know, doing PR for us and doing
Right.
my websites and logos. Like, if I'm getting paid more, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
we should be able to live off livable wages. You know what I'm saying? And like what they're offering isn't cutting it.
Right.
But it's like if I don't take it, my insurance gets cut. So then what?
Mm.
Yeah.
That's
So then
weigh the pros and cons.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think a lot of people are in, you know, similar situations, and it's just craziness. So for anyone suffering naturally with mental health issues, this is like a whole different type of something. And when they started talking about like opening school, which they're still talking about here, but I'm not sending the kids, but a lot of parents were pissed
There's
off.
not even the option to go to school up there?
Not yet. They're supposed to
Oh.
start it next week.
Oh, I
But
didn't know that.
the problem is they don't have enough teachers.
Oh, okay.
They don't have enough like helpers and stuff like that. So at
Right.
first I was like, you know, these parents are like, you know, my kids need to be in school, which I get that if you're a single mom and you have to work, you can't pay
Right.
for daycare. You know what I mean? But for me, I'm in a situation where I'm working from home, and I want to keep them home as long as I can.
Yeah.
But oddly enough, they liked quarantine. So that's another concern for me.
Yeah, see, AJ wanted to go back to school. He was like, as soon as he knew there was an option, he's like, I'm going. You know,
Yeah.
he's been going with the same kids forever. So that's where he wants. He does not want to be homeschooled. I couldn't, you know, between the two of us, like, probably kill each other. You know, he likes to be around his friends and, you know, get in trouble by his teachers instead of by me. So.
Oh my God.
But yeah, so it's just a crazy time, and it's like, you know, if I have to go back to work, it's like it's not that busy. I'm supposed to sit at the front desk and do what?
Yeah. Work on PR.
That exactly. That's what I said. I was like, all those.
Can I
people,
bring
like,
my laptop?
well, pretty much. Like they used to use the computer for their own personal things, so like I can just log into my Canva, do what I got to do. I mean, if I'm not doing nothing else, and then I don't know, just from the job that I was offered a couple weeks ago, possibly that ended up not working out. You know, being offered a position like that with that kind of opportunity, then to being like, this is what I have to go with. Like, are you serious right now?
Yeah. Things will happen.
I know.
You know, gotta throw out any positive vibes that you had.
I've been trying, bro.
Yeah,
I've
I
been
know. You've had a shit
trying.
week.
Yo, I popped a tire. Fucking lost my keys at the beach. Card keys. Like, so now it's like I need 2 pieces of a key to start my car. It's a mess. Broke. I'm like arguing with my mom. I'm like, this is just a fucking mess. I can't. I mean, I know, like, there's going to be positive days and stuff like that. And I was doing great for a while.
Yeah.
And then it's just like,
It sucks when it's a few days in a row. Yeah.
Right. It's like, can I catch a break, please? Like, just like one day, like not cry. Remember, I was doing the streak of 5 days of not crying, but now we're back on the streaks of 5 days of nonstop crying. Like, can we catch a break? And that's the thing. You just never know what's going to trigger your mood to be like from, you know, okay or good or happy to like, you know, fuck. And then you're like that for the rest of the day. That's a struggle. Like, that's been like a real struggle for me lately. And, you know.
Well, it's hard to shake it off when, you know, then
so
something else happens. You know, that's that's when it gets really shitty, is when you don't have time to recover from one thing and like pick yourself back up, but
Yeah.
you know, you just keep getting knocked down. So it's like these 10 things that all happened.
Oh
right
my God,
after each other.
sorry. Just to laugh. I wanted to send you this, but I didn't. So I was listening to Pandora, and it was right after that thing I sent you on Snapchat about the Hate Jealousy song. And that song, I get knocked down, but I get up again. I always think of you when that song happens, and I was just laughing because I remember sitting in front of the space heater on Glover Street, and you were singing it, and I'll never forget that for whatever reason. Drinks a whiskey drink, drinks a vodka drink.
You know what's weird? That song reminds me of my friend Mikey Mello.
Mm-hmm.
He used to, like, you know, jokingly sing it, but he would make the accent so thick. And
I
so
love
every
it.
time I hear that, that's what I think about. R.I.P. Mikey.
Oh, that wasn't too long ago, was it?
No, he was a few years ago, and then Mark died early this year.
Oh, okay, yeah, I remember seeing something that you posted.
My posse is pretty much all dead.
Drugs,
Being
right?
a teenager. No, one got lost at sea as a fisherman. That was one earlier this year. My friend Josh, he was drinking.
Sorry for assuming, but everybody in Bedford dies from those. So,
well, ironically, they were all fishermen, all three of them. Josh was drunk. He was walking down to the boat, like walking on the docks, and he fell in the water and hit his head. And they didn't find him till like the next day. And then my friend Mikey, it was similar to drugs, something along those lines. But it was just crazy because, you know, we talked about that in the beginning of all this, like, oh, who was your first kiss? I'm like, shit, he's dead. And then my first boyfriend, I'm like, man, we're just batting 1,000. Stay away.
Well, what's funny is that when you were talking about that, I was like, I really never knew anybody that died. But then I remember, like, my first crush, he died in a motorcycle accident. Like, he told me he liked me, and then I went, like, with him around, like, the apartment complex we lived in. He was 17, I was 14. And he took me for a ride on the motorcycle, and he's like, I'll see you tomorrow when you're babysitting Christina, because I knew him through the people I babysat for. And I'm like, yeah, of course. And then I'll never forget when Rob, the guy I babysat for, walked up the stairs and, you know, whispered something to my mom, and my mom was like, Malcolm, go to your room. And then he had to tell me, like, you know, George was crossing over, you know, whatever, and a semi didn't see him, and he got hit.
Oh.
It was bad, yeah. So, man, I cried and cried and cried. The letter I sent, I still have the copy of the letter that I sent to go with Rob, because he was buried in Jersey, like, to stick in the coffin. Because that was insane to me. I was like, well, guess I don't want any boyfriends for a while.
Yeah. No, it's always brutal. You know what's weird though? So this is my dark brain at work. So when you were just saying that you wrote a letter, when I was sitting here before we started, I was writing like down like different points to talk about or whatever. And in my head, as I started writing, I was like, "Dear Slim," and I was like, "Why?"
Yes.
Every time I go,
yes. You haven't answered.
I'm like, come on, just be normal for like 2 seconds. Jesus.
There's no such thing.
So on my way back, like I hung out with the kids this afternoon at, you know, their dad Grammy's house. And I'm driving back, and, you know, I'm jamming out to, like, my Dermot Kennedy, you know, screaming on the top of my lungs.
Oh, yeah, you were sending me that.
Yeah. So I'm jamming out, and there's this kid. He's probably, like, I don't know, maybe, like, 13, 14, and he's on his bike, right? And he's, like, coming this way, and I'm going that way. So he's riding the bike without, you know, holding on to the handlebars. So as I start getting closer, he goes like this as I drive by, and he's like on the bike, and I'm like,
finger guns.
Yeah, like, so I'm driving, and, you know, I always make faces.
I would have did it back.
I was just I'm like, what the fuck? But it's always like I'll look as if there's a camera, like The Office or whatever.
I do that all the time. If I ever get married, I want the entire thing to be documented like that. Like,
yes.
I do that all the time, as if a camera is there. what was it? Oh, the finger, because when you're saying like the finger bang thing, like sometimes like you'd be surprised how many kids like react to it. Like if they just like stare at you, I always do the little rascals thing, like, and there's so many kids that respond to that, and adults, believe it
Yeah.
or not. Like it's hilarious. I like doing that. But yeah, to go back to what we were talking about getting back up on the horse, I guess as you say.
Yeah.
It's just, like, because I know when I go back and listen, like you sound like angry or like you sound like, but it's like,
It's normal.
that's
It's a
but
feeling.
that's the point. It's like
Yeah.
if there aren't people who are, being in their state, it's we were talking earlier, like how people say like, you're so brave, and like when we hear that, we just get like, are we like,
It's
or are we
confusing.
nuts?
It
Yeah,
gives me a
you know what I
complex
mean?
almost, like, wait, are we really that fucked up that people are like,
Right.
wow, I'm shocked that you're out there saying this, or is it
Right.
like, I
Well,
appreciate
because it's like,
you.
think about how hard it is just to get on in general, like, and do this, like, but that's what this is about, is the authenticity. That's what we're trying to, provide for people. I think
Yeah.
that's, so it's like, whereas most people who know me or know of me, through high school, Facebook, this, that, like, most people would assume that I am like happy all the time and super positive, but
Yeah.
in reality, it's not like that. Like,
No.
I'll post something positive while I'm freaking like crying and like, like, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, you just don't know what happens. Like, that's why it's so important to be kind to people, because you just have no idea, with one smile or one kind compliment or word, it can like change someone's whole day.
Oh, absolutely.
So that's all I have to say about that, or that's how I feel about that.
I think, I mean, it kind of sucks because I think it's very rare that you and I are like on the same wavelength.
We're never. If we were,
Right.
if we're both
One's
sad,
always
we're not
up, one's
recording.
always, not up, but you know what I mean? It's so weird because we both kind of at one point will force each other, like, no, we're doing this, like, let's
Yeah,
keep it
exactly.
going.
Yeah.
And that's all you really can do.
But anyway, so not this past one that we just posted, but the one before, they were like, oh, you could just tell that you weren't in a good mood, and da-da-da. But it's like, well, that's the point. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not, but I'm still here because, people need to see that you're not going to be positive all the time. And, more than helping people with mental illnesses and health, I hope that we help people who don't, like, to understand it better.
Yeah.
Honestly, because that's where everything comes from, is the understanding of, you may never, most people will never be able to experience some of the feelings that we feel. So
Yeah.
you can never be empathetic, but at least you can be sympathetic and just be, just educate yourself on it. Like,
Right.
Don't tell people, just stop being sad.
Yeah.
That's like when like a guy tells you, just calm down. Oh, yeah, that's always worked, right?
Yeah, no.
Oh, like, oh, why didn't I think of that? Just stop being sad.
You know what's strange? I've actually noticed, and I was thinking of this earlier when I was driving, is one thing I have figured out is, even though I think I communicate like what's going on in my head to other people, I don't think I actually do. I think in those moments when I feel certain things and I, let myself rationalize things for like 24 hours before talking about it, I haven't actually explained like why I have these reactions. And I feel like since doing this and just talking about the different things that we go through or that we went through, has actually helped in a few areas in my life, where people that, there are people that just, it's not that they don't have empathy, it's they just, I don't know, it's hard to explain. They just don't understand like extreme feeling,
Right.
even though they try.
Right.
So that's one thing I have noticed, is my relationships with people have changed. I think because, we talked in depth more about it, where it's not something I've ever been able to do face to face, even though
Right.
I have no problem saying like, oh yeah, I'm bipolar, or like whatever. But
Right.
if people don't understand the clusterfuck that is in being bipolar, and then add some BPD and some anxiety and PTSD, like, you don't understand what it's like every day to have your brain basically attacking itself from
Right.
all different
Or
areas.
determining how you're gonna operate for the rest of the
Right.
day.
So
It's so unfair.
we've educated, people that are already in our life that,
Right.
maybe didn't understand before. Or like I said, there's a lot of shit that I don't talk about. I feel the way I feel because that's how I feel. But
Right.
sometimes there needs to be more behind it, talking about what your triggers are, not just having a shutdown when you're faced with that trigger. You know what I mean? Like,
That's my problem, is that I get so stressed. Like I told you, I get overwhelmed. I shut down. I feel stressed out. I can't handle stress whatsoever.
Yeah.
I don't like tension. I just shut down. Like the past 2 days, you were asking me, like, you okay? You always know when something's wrong. It's like I don't respond or whatever. And you try to get me to talk, but it's just like I don't. Even though we both know like the dark thoughts and like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know for a fact that you relate to that, so it's easier for me to talk to you about that stuff.
Yeah. I was like the other day, it was weird to me that like you wouldn't tell me what was going on. So I was kind of freaking out a little bit. And then I'm like, well, I know she has to like sit and like go through the things. But I was like,
Mhm.
I feel like she would at
Recognize.
least said something,
Mhm.
So then I got
And I
nervous.
didn't. Yep.
Right. So then I got nervous. And then, you ended up texting me, what was it, yesterday morning or this morning?
I think it was this morning.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, all right. Like, good to know you're alive. So I feel like we need a code word when we're going into shutdown mode and need time to think. Nerd
I'll
rope.
think that could,
Pop
I think
rocks.
Pop rocks. Yeah, something. So let me see.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of like I was trying to think of something from The Craft.
Oh, you know what just popped in my head when you said that? As if.
As if.
No, what
Enough.
about what about Wayne's World? Sure. Right.
How do we type that?
Just send the gift.
Right, like we'll just send a funny GIF and we'll just understand.
Game on.
Like, hey,
Game
yep.
off. Hi, Wayne. Hi. And then she flips over the card. It's so good. Oh, I love those movies.
The movies we used to watch were great.
You know what Aiden is obsessed with right now because I put it on for him? Freaking Ace Ventura.
Oh my, AJ too.
Dude, he's like,
And I used to be obsessed. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, that is my. Woo! Do not go in there.
He watched the second one first.
So did AJ. I don't like the
one?
second one though. Yeah,
Dude,
the
it's
When
so
Nature
funny,
Calls.
though.
It
Oh
is,
my
but
God.
I don't know, just like when he's in the tutu and he breaks out of the box and the guy catches him and he's like, "Hey, play, coach. Just put me in the game." Laces out. That'll be what the code word is.
There we go.
Laces out.
Man, so
That was
good.
such a good movie. It was. And
It was
that's
so
the thing,
cute,
like,
though. I could hear him giggling in there, so I went in there, and it was the pot with the tutu, and he's like, "What?" I'm like, "I know, it's
Blue
great."
42, Blue 42. Do you want these cookies I made? Laces out. That was. Do you go home and talk to him at night? I can't make a dolphin noise or whatever. And I try to do that too, like when I'm down, like watch funny stuff, and it does work, but it's real temporary. As soon as the funny part or whatever's over, you're like, okay, back to the drawing board.
Have you ever seen that movie, What About Bob?
No.
Oh my God, Rachel.
How about Drop Dead Fred?
Yeah, Drop Dead Fred is amazing, but you have to watch What About Bob.
Okay.
So Bill Murray's in it, and he's basically this dude with a mental illness, and his psych doctor goes on vacation with his family, and he follows them there. Dude, oh my God, you have to watch it. It is hilarious.
I'll watch it.
Hilarious, but it's, this guy, he has, I can't remember exactly. I don't remember if it was like OCD or something, but like
Sounds like
severe.
it if he's following him.
Yeah, and so he was like, I don't know how to do this without you. And he's like, I'm at my family's summer house right now. And the whole thing, he just like fucks up his whole summer.
That's so fucking funny. Oh, you remember Empire Records?
Yes.
Dead people don't talk.
Yeah.
That's the only part I remember from that movie.
Oh,
Kids
wait.
used to say it.
Shock me with that deviant behavior. Fucking love that
Have
movie.
you ever seen what's that movie with Grandma's Boy?
Yes.
High
I've
score.
only seen it once, but
Yeah, high score. What does that mean? Did I break it?
oh yeah.
That shit's funny.
Okay.
So for the raffle, we have 4 days left for the raffle. Thank you for everybody that's donated. I mean, you know, the more times you enter or the more amount you enter, you know, the more chances you have to win. A portion of the proceeds will go to the National Alliance of Mental Illness. I kept messing that up. I think I said that wrong a couple times before, but we're on the right track. So we'll have it set up to where, you know, once a month when we do this, 10% or a portion, we're still working on it, will go directly to them when you guys cash app us. So that's what we're working on for that. That's for this month's box and the raffle. And yeah, goes to a good cause and helps us to be able to continue to do this and, you know, help as many people as we can.
While trying to help ourselves.
While trying to help ourselves. But next week will be a good week, I'm sure. It
Yes.
always works like that.
Yep. It'll
The
even
days-
out.
Yep. It just doesn't like when like you're having like bad days, the days seem like so much longer.
Oh, they absolutely are.
Like when you trip on acid. I don't know if you've ever done acid, but woo! You go through 100 years in about 12 hours.
Hey, wait, something. Full circle. So earlier today, I was sitting with Kevin and Melissa at the table, and have you ever seen the video of MGMT singing that song "Electric Feel" live, and Kid
No.
Cudi gets on the stage and he's like dancing to the song?
No,
So-
but I love Kid Cudi.
You have to look it up. So he just goes out on the stage and he is like jamming out to the song, and you know, it's like a really smooth song, and he's like doing all this, he's going like this. So he finally put up a thing saying, you know, hey MGMT, like, thanks for letting me crash your set. He was like, I was actually drinking water, but the acid just kicked in and I felt like my face was melting off. He's like, and all I could do was dance. Dude, so we watched it again and I was just like dying laughing because, you know, he's jamming out to that song and it's a really good
Well,
song.
acid is a trip. I really want to microdose, like to
Naturally.
try to yeah, right. I want to try to microdose.
Yeah.
Mushrooms are a better choice because they're natural, obviously, but you know, what are you gonna do? So
Not
I
doing
wanna,
it.
okay. So yeah, so we did the raffle thing. Thank you to everybody who's participating in that and watching us. And it's just been a real busy week. So I just feel like I haven't been able to put out as much like content as I usually do. But what's tomorrow?
Sunday.
Yeah, AJ's sleeping at his dad's tonight, and then tomorrow, AJ has a birthday party from like 2 to 6 or something. So those are my plans.
I think I'm going to get Penelope's oil changed tomorrow.
Is that your car's name?
Yes.
Mine is the Rocket because it sounds like a rocket ship. Everybody's like, "Whoa, is your car okay?" I'm like,
Don't
"Why
worry
wouldn't
about it.
be?" I'm like, they're like, because it sounds like all your tires are about to fall off. I'm like, no, it's good. It's just taking off.
Yeah, right. I want to go see my friend Megan,
Yeah.
but it's the weirdest thing, but going down to Mass is like a day trip thing for
Yeah,
me
no, of
almost,
course.
and I have to prep myself for a few days in advance.
Mentally.
Yeah, and I feel bad because I want to go and I want to get bubble tea with her again, but
Yeah.
it's like just finding the time where I don't feel guilty for
Yeah.
leaving for the day. So I
You
don't
shouldn't
know.
feel guilty about leaving, but I know when I came back from New Bedford, that when I visited you a couple years ago,
Yeah.
I was depressed for weeks after that. Oh my god, what
Yeah.
a culture! Like to be back in that atmosphere, I could
Yeah.
do like prepare. So a lot of people want to hear about relationships, so we're gonna start our next series segments or whatever on those.
Yeah.
What do you think we should do for the first one? I mean, there's just so many,
Yeah.
and
I
each one
think-
could have several subcategories.
Yeah, I would say maybe start with family relationships because that's going to go well into intimate relationships that we have based on relationships within a family.
So we'll do like 172 on those, and then we'll get into intimate relationships with regular people.
There we go. Yeah, it's, you know, I think it's one of those things we have to start from the core.
I'm not ready.
I'm not ready. Get ready, damn it.
Laces out, laces out.
Taking the shoelaces completely off. So let's be real.
Right.
It's about to get real.
Can you even take laces out of a football?
I think
I
so.
don't think so.
I mean, they put them in there. They got to come out in some way.
Thank you for watching as always. We appreciate it. We'll see you guys next time, and hopefully by next time. Oh, next time we'll have the raffle winner picked out.
Yes.
And yep, and everything will be uploaded on the website. So thanks for watching and listening, and see you next time.
Over and out.